Okay, so I want to talk about something that is super important. In fact, it's so important that when I first started trying to express this, I realized it became a 30-minute video and it probably could go on and on and on and on. So I'm going to break this down into smaller videos and just take it step by step and try to explain this as simply effective as possible, and actually give you some practical advice about how to strengthen this category. So if you watch my videos, I'm always talking about health, wealth, love, and happiness, the 4 pillars of life. And if you're investing in anything else, absolutely anything else than those 4, then you are distracting yourself and you're probably not very happy. So I wanted to actually break down one of these categories, which is connection, your love category. Your connection with other people. This would be your friends, your family, which is your social network, your professional network. So basically just connecting with people. And don't feel bad about, I know some people don't even learn the skill of connecting with other people. And yes, it is a skill. Charismatic people have just developed this skill and grow it and strengthen it every day. You can do the same thing. Most people, it astounds me that they don't invest in this category. They don't try to build the skill. They don't try to learn more about how to connect with other people because they avoid it. It's like, well, if I don't have this ability, then all this bad negative energy and self-talk starts happening, and we're not even going to go there. Okay, we're going to focus on positive things and how to strengthen this for yourself. So with connection, to learn how to communicate with other people, to learn how to be authentic with yourself about who you really are, and being confident enough to really show that is so important. You do it with people all day, every day. You got your job, at home, like in your future to build happiness, you're going to need this skill. And so I've noticed as I'm getting older and some of my friends are getting older, we're having issues of making friends as an adult. Like, we don't really know how to connect with other people. And then who do you even connect with? Who do you even decide that you want to resonate with or bring into your life? And some people just let whomever come in. If they show any interest in you, they want them in their life. And that's silly. That is not being very respectful to yourself. And if you're not respecting yourself, you're not really respecting other people. So you want good connections. Happiness is having good connections that uplift you and inspire you and encourage you to be the type of person that you want to be when you're having a hard time remembering that. So if you have a lot of connections like that in your life, you're going to be happy. If you have bad connections that are doing the opposite and tearing you down and telling you that you're not good enough, that you can't achieve anything that you want to do, then guess what? You're going to be miserable. So it's pretty simple. So how do you recognize which friendships you want? You have to determine the type of people that you want to be around. So I kind of explained it just now, people who uplift you and things like that, but this is not cookie cutter. Everyone's a little bit different and everyone's going to resonate with different type of people. So this doesn't happen overnight. So it took me some time to figure this out, but you know what? Take 10 minutes to actually ask yourself, who brings you joy? Who actually uplifts you? Who excites you? I discovered that some of the qualities that I'm working towards, or at least I was, are things that I want in the new friends that I make. So I really resonate with entrepreneurs, athletes, and artists. Entrepreneurs because they're problem solvers and they're always looking for new ways of, building their business, or they're very goal oriented, they're very disciplined. Usually if they're successful, they're very all about kind of getting to that next level, and so they're very ambitious. And I am totally that and want to be that. So athletes, kind of same thing. They're very goal-oriented, very disciplined. They're very health conscious. They care about their physical well-being, their mental well-being. They're very aware that they need to take care of themselves to be energized and to be a strong person. So I love being around personal trainers, yogis. I love being around anybody who's very health conscious, aware of nutrition. So I like being around them. So artists, which would be the third one, I really love because they express themselves. And artists have to be able to let go of their egos to be able to be who they truly are in front of people. Usually, you know, so actors, they have to portray their art, their paintings, their drawings, usually out in front of people. And that's kind of scary. And you can't have a whole lot of insecurity. You can't have a lot of self-doubt to do that. So they're very confident. And I love that they express themselves. Comedians, I love comedians who make people laugh. So these are all things that I really want to incorporate inside of me, inside of who I am. And so I love being around those people. And once you determine the qualities of friendships that you really want in your life, then it's pretty easy, at least I think, to figure out where you're going to find those people. And then get out of the house. Walk outside and go where they are. And you don't need to have another friend with you as moral support. Get out and go there. Go to the gym if you resonate with athletes. Go to a comedy club if you want to meet more comedians. Go to seminars, business seminars and marketing seminars to meet more entrepreneurs. Go where they will be, whoever that is for you. So that's one thing I really challenge you to do maybe this week, to just get out of the house and put yourself in that environment of where you're going to meet the people that you want to be around. So you might ask, okay, Jessica, I'm out and about. I'm where you told me to go. I'm hoping to find some people that will be there. How do I initiate a conversation? How do I initiate a connection? So when most people go out, they have this problem of assuming the other person doesn't want to be approached, assuming the other person wants nothing to do with their conversation or who they are. That, again, is low self-esteem and fear-based. I don't eliminate the fear, because you can't. You can't get rid of fear. It's going to be there, but set it aside. Just, even if you need to visualize it, just set aside your fear and do it anyway. I know it's easier said than done, but with practice, I know you can do it. Just set aside your insecurities, set aside the thoughts that you have about yourself that are hindering this process, and just try it. Just experiment, just see what happens. And what I do all the time in order to initiate a conversation is I actually eavesdrop. So I'm assuming that they want to connect, because we are hardwired to connect with other people. And I eavesdrop all the time. You know, I find something that I can relate to the other person, and I mention, hey, you know, that happens to me all the time. I know exactly what you're talking about. And if they continue, if they ask me questions and they continue the conversation, which they normally do, I'd say about 80% of the time they do. If they don't, then they have another reason to be out in public. But my thought is, if you're having a conversation, if you're out in public, you know, and you don't want somebody to hear what you're saying, then you probably shouldn't be having that conversation out in public. So that's my thought. I mean, if they look at me like I'm weird, then really they're being the rude one, because they shouldn't be talking about it out in public. So that's a really great way that you can spark a friendship or spark a connection and get to know people. And so the next thing is, how do you know whether to put time and effort into that connection? Well, you already know the type of person that you're really wanting to make friends with. And even if that person is not fitting into that category, have no expectations of them. Just get to know them, be in the moment, focus on getting to know who they are, and they can get to know you. And don't have any expectations of yourself. Don't be worried about whether they think you have the hippest shoes or the coolest watch or what you do for a living. Who cares? Who cares? You might not even see them past this moment. So it doesn't really matter. The only thing is to evaluate whether this is going to be a friendship to continue connecting with. So if it is, it's really great to see what you can bring to the table and how you can help enrich their lives, and then how they can enrich yours. So many people don't just sit down and say, how can I help you? How can you help me? How can we create a really awesome relationship here? And if they're open, if they're an open person, if they're aware of who they are, that should be really easy for them to describe to you. So that's it for this video. I am so curious. Now, all these things are just research things that I've noticed about other you know, when I have my own questions and things I've come up with. So you may or may not agree with it. Doesn't really matter if you do or don't. You can leave a comment. Either way, I want to hear it. And I would love to know if you can recognize what type of people do you want to connect with. Actually, put that in the comments, and you might see someone who has the same similar interests that you do. You might make a new connection. And I would love to see if you are able to recognize what qualities that you really want to bring into your life and what people that you feel will do that for you and how they can do that for you. So that's it for this video. Believe it or not, it was really difficult for me to try to simplify that all into one little like 10, 11, 12-minute video-ish, and keep it for the rest of them, because there's just so much to say about this, and this is such an important category. I really feel that too many people ignore trying to learn how to connect with other people, and hopefully this will be helpful to you and you can go out and start doing it. Get out of the house. That is the most important thing. Figure out who you want to go meet and then get out of the house. Just for one day, just try it. I promise it'll be a fun experiment for you, and let me know how it goes.